Cleaning franchises, pros and cons. What are they? Well, we're going to talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by mycleaningconnection.com. This is a resource hub that has all different kinds of things that will help you in your cleaning journey. It's blogs, it's podcasts, it is books, it's uniforms and cleaning supplies and equipment and reviews and experts and all kinds of things. mycleaningconnection.com. Check it out. You owe it to yourself. All right, on to today's show. We've got a couple of guys that called into the show. They both have questions about franchising. Here are their questions.
Good morning, Angela. My name is Mike. I have a question for you. I was recently looking at starting a business, a cleaning business in particular, and ran across a franchise opportunity called You've Got Maids. And I was debating the pros and cons of trying to do this on my own versus taking advantage of a franchise opportunity. Do you have any opinions on franchise versus doing this on your own? Thank you.
Hey, I had a question. I'm making a decision to go with a franchise company or start my own house cleaning business. I have done a little research, but I recently seen your YouTube videos and they are the most informative and realistic videos I have seen so far. I wanted to know your opinion on starting with a franchise house cleaning business or starting my own, the pros and cons. Thank you.
All right, cleaning, franchising, pros and cons. All right, here we'll start with the franchises first, then we'll talk about do your own, and we will talk about the pros first. When you buy a cleaning franchise, one of the pros is that you're buying an existing brand. It already exists, so you do not have to reinvent the wheel. Yay! All right, now what that means is you do not have to create colors or logos or uniforms or wrapped cars or any of those things. Those things already exist. You're just stepping over into an existing brand, which is super awesome because it saves you years off of the learning curve. Another thing that's great about having a franchise that you're working with is that they have a training program already in place. So you do not have to reinvent your own training program or piece together little elements of whatever's on the internet. You can just jump into an existing program. They will teach you everything you need to know. So, booyah. All right, another thing that's awesome is they have national marketing. So this is super cool because instead of you trying to do all your own website and SEO and all of these things, they already have all that in place. You just pay money every month and they run Facebook ads and they run different things on the website and they have Twitter accounts and they have contests and all these things that they do. And you just pay every month for them to do it instead of paying someone from Fiverr or whatever, right? So they already have an existing program in place. One of the pros of belonging to a franchise is they've already worked out all the bugs and kinks. They've already learned by trial and error. They've already made all the mistakes so that you don't have to. So they're going to train you how to run the business so you can just jump in and go seamlessly from beginning to end. All right, now let's talk about a couple of the cons. There are a couple of cons, and who knows if they're really cons, they're just things that you need to consider. The cost of entry is very expensive. And so a lot of times they will look at your bank statements and they want to go back for a couple of years and make sure that you have a couple of $100,000 in the bank and that you have liquid capital to operate off of while you're getting your business up and running. Lots of house cleaners don't have that. And so it makes the entry a little bit more difficult. But if you're a business owner and this is a side gig for you and you've got the money, it's a great opportunity. All right, another con is many times in order to participate in a franchise, they will request that you have a business degree. So you have to go to college for a couple of years, have a business degree before you can even be considered to be part of the franchise. All right, another thing is if you are a self-starter and you don't like hovering, you may not like a franchise because they will have a mentor that is assigned to you to make sure that you run the business exactly the way it is designed to be run. Because you can't come in and start making your own rules and changing the system because even though you might be creative and you might have a better way of doing things, that is the way it is done. And that is what you are paying for. It's like if you were to go to McDonald's and you bought a McDonald's franchise, you don't get to come in and start making your own sandwiches, right? People expect a certain thing when they arrive. So whether you're creative or not doesn't matter. What matters is that you can come in and follow the rules. So if you have a problem with authority, or you have a problem with following the rules, or if you're super creative and you like inventing things on your own, the side business, starting it on your own, is going to be a better bet for you. So there are lots of pros and cons to owning a franchise. The franchises, they already have all the cleaning chemicals, all the training, all the branding, all the marketing, all of that stuff in place. And in exchange for that, you pay a hefty upfront sum that can be anywhere from $7,000 to a couple $100,000, depending on where you go and which kind of franchise you get involved in. Also, everything that you earn from here through infinity goes back to the company. There's a percentage that they get paid on everything you get paid. So a little chunk of your profits go back to the franchise every time you earn money. Some people say it gets very expensive. All right, so now let's talk about for a second starting your own business. Starting your own business is a huge learning curve, and you have to have some business knowledge. If you don't have business knowledge, you have to learn it as you go. I would be a fool if I stood here and told you all you need to know is cleaning, because there's so much more to running a cleaning business than just cleaning. You got to know marketing and accounting and people skills and hiring skills and onboarding skills and training skills and a whole bunch of stuff. So you can learn that as you go, okay? So it's not as big an investment. Nobody's going to ask you for a college degree. Nobody's going to ask you for any money up front. The good news is you don't have to go out to the bank and take out a loan so that you can participate in the cleaning franchise. If you're starting your own, you just start with the money that you have and you build as you go. Now, the cost of entry is very low in a house cleaning business. You've got uniforms, you have vehicle expenses, you have cleaning supplies, and then there are a couple of legal expenses you're going to have, like bonding and insurance. Maybe you get an LLC, maybe you trademark your logo. So some startup expenses are going to be small in comparison to those of the franchise. So you can start pretty much anywhere you are and learn as you go. All right, there are a couple things that you have to think about. I'm going to call these cons. Not that they're cons, but just they're going to require a lot from you. If you don't know about how to manage people and you don't know about employees, you've got a big road ahead of you, because you're going to, every day for the rest of your life, you'll be dealing with people, and those will be your customers and your employees. You got to figure out how to manage all of the differences, the nuances, the anger, the excitement, the drama, the chaos, all that stuff that goes on when you work with humans. Okay, so there are management skills you must learn. There are also business skills you must learn. You're going to have to teach yourself your own cleaning processes about how fast you work, what equipment you use and how you use that equipment and how much of that equipment you use on every job. If you're going to have uniforms, you get to put those together yourself. If you're a creative person, you're going to love starting your own business. And if you're unsure right now which to go into, if you have the money, go for the franchise, because it will take all of the troubleshooting away from you, okay? So that might be a better bet. If you're not sure and if you don't have the money, my suggestion is that you go with the do-it-yourself route first. Learn as much as you possibly can. When you have the money, then you may want to switch over and then invest in the franchise. So there are pros and cons to both. And I can't stand here and make the decision for you because I don't know your personal situation. And I don't really know the nuances of what you're going through or what you're looking for. I don't know your background. I don't know if you have years of business experience and you are a master at marketing and you're going to come in and just blow the independent thing out of the water. Or if you are more of a follower and you're looking for direction from a mentor that's going to keep you on track and you just run a well-oiled machine from beginning to end and pay them their cut every month. I don't know. But there are both sides of the coin have very successful business models. I've seen franchises fail and I've seen independent business owners fail. I've seen franchises succeed. I've seen independent business owners succeed. So it really depends on who you are. And I have to say this, what it comes down to, the big caveat for making either side work is the person in the middle, and that's you. Who are you? Who are you? Are you willing to learn? Are you teachable? Are you reliable? Are you going to show up every day and you're going to do something to grow your business? Because if you're looking for the easy route, neither of these is the right business for you, because both of these require an enormous amount of work. And I would be amiss if I did not stand here and let you know the realities of running a business. Most small businesses fail, and they fail for a variety of reasons. But what it comes down to is, who is the person in the middle that's the puppeteer that's pulling all the strings? Who is that person and how skilled are they? If you don't have the skills, you can learn the skills. But if you're hoping to buy into a business because it looks like an easy way, that's kind of a misnomer. So do your homework and do your due diligence and then figure out which one is going to be best for you. And you can always switch gears midstream should you decide you ever want to go the other route. All right, I hope that helps you a little bit. If it does, please pass it on to a friend. If we've earned your subscription, please subscribe. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.